You didn't yell. You didn't beg. You didn't send a long emotional text. You just did nothing. And in that moment, the exact second you chose silence over reaction, something in her shifted. Not because you hurt her, but because she suddenly realized she doesn't control you anymore. That's when the regret begins. That's when the emotional gravity starts to pull her back. Not because you played games, but because you broke the cycle. And here's the Stoic truth. A woman begins to regret losing you the moment you stop explaining your worth and start embodying it. This is not about revenge. It's about regaining your power, silently. Today we're going to break down what that power move is, why it works, and how Stoicism has been teaching this principle for over 2,000 years. Why she regrets you after you let go. In modern dating, a strange emotional pattern repeats itself. When you give too much, too soon, too emotionally, it gets taken for granted. You show your loyalty, you overcommunicate, you stay available. And yet, the moment you pull back, suddenly her interest returns. Her confusion grows. Her regret brews. Why? Because of this one psychological shift. Human beings value what is emotionally scarce. And in today's world of instant gratification, attention is cheap, but true composure is rare. And when a woman experiences your composure, your unshakable silence grounded in self-respect, it creates something more powerful than attraction. It creates uncertainty. She starts asking herself, why is he not chasing? Does he not care? Was he stronger than I thought? And if you hold that silence, not as manipulation, but as power, it leads her to the ultimate realization. You were the prize. This is where Stoicism enters, because what the Stoics taught us was not how to control others, but how to master ourselves so fully that others are forced to reevaluate us. What Stoicism says about power, attachment, and walking away. Let's go back to the core of Stoic philosophy. He who angers you controls you. Epictetus. Now apply this idea to relationships. If you respond emotionally to being ignored, ghosted, or disrespected, you hand over control. But when you walk away silently, not out of rage, but out of principle, you take your power back. This is not detachment out of bitterness. It's detachment out of clarity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." In other words, the real flex is your calm. When you're ghosted, you don't chase. When you're disrespected, you don't argue. When you're doubted, you don't explain. You simply exit quietly, not to teach her a lesson, but to honor your own. And that's when she feels the absence. Because you didn't just disappear, you disappeared with dignity. Seneca put it like this: he suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary. In modern relationships, suffering often begins the moment we start fantasizing about what they think, what they feel, and what they'll do next. But the Stoic knows their feelings are not your responsibility. Your response is, and your most powerful response is silence. Here's what the Stoics knew long before social media, ghosting, or modern games. Self-control is strength. Right thought is mastery. Calmness is power. James Allen. In relationships, this means you don't react when someone pulls away. You don't chase when your ego is bruised. You don't respond just because someone reappears. Instead, you evaluate from a place of peace. You choose response over reaction. You act according to your values, not their actions. This is why no contact in Stoicism isn't a tactic. It's a test for yourself. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." You don't go no contact to make her miss you. You do it to remind yourself what silence sounds like, internally. And when you realize you don't miss her, you miss who you were when you forgot your worth. That's when you pass the test. Now pay attention to these modern applications that how to handle her regret without losing power. Let's say she messages you days, weeks, maybe months later. Now what? Do you respond? Ignore? Send her a Stoic quote? Number. You sent her yourself before doing anything. Ask, am I responding from ego or principle? Am I looking for closure or control? Will this response serve my peace or my pain? Because here's the stoic move most never make. You don't respond to people who left your life unless they return with a purpose. Anything less than clarity is chaos. So unless she comes with genuine accountability, not breadcrumbs, not mixed signals, not nostalgia, you keep moving. Your silence isn't a wall, it's a filter. And if she regrets losing you, that's her emotional weight to carry. Your job isn't to ease her guilt, it's to protect your peace. Remember what Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. In this context, don't argue whether you deserve better. Live like it. Here are 5 power moves rooted in Stoicism to ensure her regret doesn't become your regression. Upgrade silently. Let your results speak, not your stories, not your tweets, not your revenge body on Instagram. Just your life. Evolving, don't prove. Detach. She might test you. Mention checking in. Ask, how have you been? Don't fall into old dynamics. Respond, not react. Or don't respond at all. Make peace your new standard. If talking to her disturbs your inner stillness, don't talk. If silence feels lighter than a forced conversation, choose silence. Remember her absence was your blessing. Don't romanticize the past. Romanticize your future. The peace, the purpose, the power you're stepping into. Be unavailable emotionally to the past. You're not punishing her. You're protecting yourself. There's no hate, just distance. No resentment, just growth. Let regret echo in your absence. She may never say it directly. She might never admit she regrets losing you, but you'll see it in her eyes when she sees you again, her sudden likes after months of silence, her random, "How are you?" texts at midnight. But none of that matters anymore, because the moment she started regretting you, you were already gone. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Not because you played hard to get, but because you became hard to replace. And that's the highest level of stoic revenge. Not silence for attention, silence for evolution.